Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Vedanta Agarwal. Our top story, well, shocking news from Pune. Jaylen De Silva was allegedly assaulted while driving on a very busy road in Pune. The attack allegedly happened after a motorist attempted to overtake her vehicle. In an effort to allow the motorist to pass, Jaylen moved to the side of the road, but the driver stopped his vehicle, confronted her and struck her in the face, causing severe bleeding. An FIR has now been registered, but what's absolutely shocking is that she was on the bike with two kids when this incident allegedly took place. Let's try and listen into what she had to say in this video message.
Hi everyone, my name is Jaylen De Silva. I was on the street of Baner Pasha Link Road. I was with two kids. There was an old man who was speeding through us for 2 kilometers, and I was somehow taking the vehicle from the left hand side, not wanting to come into his way. This guy overspeeds, risks life of so many people and takes a left turn, takes me on the side. He gets out of the car very furiously. He gives me like 2 punches. He pulls me completely, like he pulls my hair. I had 2 kids. He didn't care about the kids. And this is how it is at the moment. And yeah, I just want to say, how safe is the city? Where is this going? Why are people behaving like maniacs? I had 2 kids on me. कुछ भी हो सकता था. और I don't know where all of this is going. I just want that this man should get, the cops should just punish him for what he did. There was a lady who helped me. There were people who were seeing. He punched me right in my face and I started bleeding immediately. So, yeah, I don't know what to say anymore.
And Paras Zama is now joining us live on the phone line. Paras, what's the latest? An FIR has now been registered by the Pune police.
Rightly said, Vedant. The FIR has been registered against the person who assaulted this lady where she was driving a bike with the 2 children. And after the overtake incident took place, this whole matter came out, and the person who was driving the car stopped his car and started hitting the victim. And he hit on her face thrice. And then after this whole matter gone very much difficult to handle. So this has been the entire situation. Now the victim is in hospital. She is getting treated over there. But the main thing in this entire matter is that the Pune police has already registered an FIR against the accused, and now they are investigating more in this entire matter.
Paras, also, shocking details emerging in the FIR and in this video account of the victim, and larger questions also will now be raised on the safety of Pune roads. But is there anything that the police have now said as far as the suspects were concerned in any effort to track them down?
So, police has already registered an FIR and they are investigating more on this entire matter. They are trying to get hold of the person who did this, but right now the FIR has already been filed in this matter. This is really a matter of concern for Pune city, because this is not the first time this type of incident has taken place. We have seen in past few months that how in Pune there are road rages are going on, and in this entire situation this is another example of a road rage, and after that the fight has came out in this matter. So this is a very much concerning for the people who lives in Pune, and the law and order situation has to take a proper steps against this type of issues which is happening in Pune. But for now, so FIR has been registered against a person who is the accused in this matter, and Pune police is investigating more into this whole matter now.
Paras, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. Extremely shocking how the woman was attacked there. The police, of course, have registered an FIR there, but larger questions also being raised because a similar such incident was reported just a couple of weeks back, and of course the infamous Pune Porsche case as well. But I earlier spoke to the victim's maternal uncle, who in fact went and took her to the hospital. Listen to what he told me earlier.
जब ये इंसिडेंट हुआ तो उन्होंने मुझे फोन किया, दैट टाइम इन हड़पसर, मैं हड़पसर में था। तब जब स्पॉट पे पहुंचा वो जाके, दैट टाइम उसको मिलने के बाद, हम लोग एक मिनट को मिलने के बाद मालूम पड़ा है कि वो व्हीकल वाला जो गाड़ी वाला था, बिना कुछ रीजन की वजह से है ना, कि गाड़ी को ओवरटेक करके आके बिना वजह रुका के, कुछ गाड़ी को नो टच हुआ, नो डैश बैठा, कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ खुद का एग्रीमेंट दिखाने के लिए शायद, या खुद का पावर दिखाने के चक्कर में, और गाड़ी में से उतरे और बातचीत हुआ कि बाबा क्यों ऐसा गाड़ी चला रहे थे, बस इसके ऊपर से उसने डायरेक्ट उतर के डायरेक्ट मारना चालू किया। उसके साथ साथ उसकी वाइफ भी रहने के बावजूद एक लेडीज को मार रहा है, एक आदमी, उसका हस्बैंड, फिर लेडीज का काम है उसको बचाना, वो बिना बचाते वो भी उसके ऊपर वापस रिटर्न अटैक कर रही है। बॉडी की ऐसा ऊपर से चोट नहीं लगी, पर अंदर से दिल से इतने डर गए थे, इतने जोर से चिल्लाए कि उनके चिल्लाने के सुन के आवाज बाकी के लोग सब जमा हो गए कि दीदी वो आप लोग को गाड़ी से उड़ा देंगे बोल के, इतने रैश ड्राइविंग करके उनके पीछे आ रहा था। को फोन आया था, तब तक मैं जिधर मैं रहता हूँ उधर से ये जो स्पॉट हुआ है वो लगभग 22-25 किलोमीटर का डिस्टेंस है बीच का। और जब मैं उधर उसको जब लगा तब वो बच्चे लोग चिल्लाए डर के मारे, तब पब्लिक जमा हो गई, आजू बाजू के लोग। उनमें से कोई एक लेडी थी, उन्होंने वो मेरे भांजी को खुद के गाड़ी में बिठाया और बच्चे लोग को बिठा के हॉस्पिटलाइज लेके गए। वो टाइम उसके रिलेटिव्स कोई भी नहीं, हम लोग कोई नहीं थे उनके साथ में। जो भी सर्विस दिया, जो भी हेल्प किया ना, वो आम पब्लिक ने हेल्प किया। उसी के साथ साथ जब पुलिस आई उधर जाने से पहला, तब पुलिस ने भी अच्छा हेल्प किया। पुलिस ने वो चाबी ली गाड़ी की, और वो जो मारने वाला आदमी था और उसके औरत को, दोनों को लेके चौकी में आ गए।
Absolutely shocking there. But looking at the other big headline at this hour, well, the National Testing Agency has published the city and centre-wise results of the NEET 2024 examination. This, of course, comes after the Supreme Court order. The Supreme Court is now looking at the extent of the irregularities and the paper leak. Now, several extremely glaring lapses are coming to the fore now after these results have been published. An overwhelming number of students, in fact, have scored extremely high marks, above 650 out of 720. So, of course, that will be the subject of investigation now. The Supreme Court, of course, has said that there is no doubt that the sanctity of the examination has been compromised. Meanwhile, the CBI continuing with its multi-city, multi-state investigation as far as the NEET paper leak case is concerned. 3 more arrests have been made by the CBI. Earlier as well, the CBI has arrested multiple people from Bihar, also from Gujarat, and now one of the kingpins has been arrested. My colleague Neeta Sharma with the latest.
As far as the kingpin is concerned, Vedant, his name is Sasikant Paswan. He is a BTech electrical engineer. He passed out from NIT Jamshedpur. And the other 2 arrested are 2 solvers, because the CBI was focusing their investigations on solvers also. They were majorly focusing into 6 states, basically Bihar and Jharkhand. These 2 people have also been arrested from Hazaribagh. The name of the first accused, who is the solver, as per the CBI, is Kumar Bishnoi. He is a second-year student, and the second one is Deepinder Sharma, who is also a second-year student. CBI is trying to make a circle as far as the investigations are concerned. They have grouped it twice. Like one is the group of solvers, and one is the group of main accused who were responsible of getting the paper and providing it to the solvers. So now the dots are being connected. More than 12 people have been arrested by CBI in this NEET UG scam.
Moving now to news from Karnataka, well, the Congress government in the state has decided to look at a proposal of a 2% entertainment cess. Well, the Congress government says that a 2% cess could be imposed on OTT subscription fees and also movie tickets. Now, this has, of course, led to sharp reactions coming in from people within the industry, also consumers of content on OTT, and also the BJP, the opposition in the state. The BJP says this would be extremely burdensome for the middle class. But listen in to all the reactions that have come in.
I think it is absolutely okay, because whatever we are seeing or facilitating we are getting from the government, it is from our tax only. And though it is a entertainment, so it is not the thing, some essential things that it is being taken from everybody. I am not seeing the movie every day, no. It may be for once in a month or twice in a month. So it is an entertainment. It is not some compulsory things. So definitely I will pay.
I don't think it's fair. I mean, I think all they are saying is instead of coming to the theatres, by increasing the cess, they're just asking us to sit back and watch the OTT platforms. They're encouraging us more to go towards OTT platforms than inviting people to come and have a social life in the cinema theatres.
Still, you going to movies?
I think now with this, I'm going to decide on this. Probably I'll pay more for the other OTT platforms and subscribe to new platforms now. That's what it's going to be. Yeah.
And moving now to news from Haryana, well, the Aam Aadmi Party has kicked off its electoral campaign. This is assembly elections could be held later this year in the state. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is looking to replicate its Delhi model as far as Haryana is concerned. 5 poll guarantees were announced by Arvind Kejriwal's wife Sunita Kejriwal, including free education, free health, mohalla clinics in Haryana as well, and also free electricity. Take a look.
आपके लाल केजरीवाल ने 5 गारंटी दी हैं आप सबके लिए, जो दिल्ली पंजाब में हो भी चुकी हैं, कुछ होने वाली हैं। पहली गारंटी है दिल्ली और पंजाब की तरह घरेलू बिजली फ्री होगी। दूसरी गारंटी दिल्ली और पंजाब की तरह हर गांव, हर शहर में मोहल्ला क्लिनिक बनाएंगे। सरकारी अस्पताल अच्छे होंगे, सबका अच्छा और फ्री इलाज होगा। तीसरी गारंटी सरकारी स्कूलों को अच्छा बनाएंगे, जहां अच्छी और फ्री शिक्षा मिलेगी। चौथी गारंटी हर महिला को हर महीना 1000 रुपया मिलेगा। दिल्ली और पंजाब में भी ये योजना जल्द ही लागू होने वाली है। और 5वीं गारंटी हर युवा बेरोजगार को के लिए हम रोजगार देंगे।
And well, amid buzz over MK Stalin's son taking over as a deputy chief minister, Udayanidhi Stalin has now clarified. He says that it's only the chief minister's prerogative to decide who his deputy will actually be. Take a look.
எந்த பொறுப்பு வந்தாலும் இளைஞரணி மறக்க மாட்டேன்னு சொல்லிருக்கீங்க. அப்ப பொறுப்புகள் மாறறதுக்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்காது.
இல்ல அது முதலமைச்சர் தான் முடிவு எடுப்பாங்க.
எந்த பொறுப்பு வந்தாலும் இளைஞரணி மறக்க மாட்டேன்னு சொல்லிருக்கீங்க. அப்ப பொறுப்புகள் மாறறதுக்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்காது.
இல்ல அது முதலமைச்சர் தான் முடிவு எடுப்பாங்க.
எந்த பொறுப்பு வந்தாலும் இளைஞரணி மறக்க மாட்டேன்னு சொல்லிருக்கீங்க. அப்ப பொறுப்புகள் மாறறதுக்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்காது.
இல்ல அது முதலமைச்சர் தான் முடிவு எடுப்பாங்க.
And well, news now from Jammu and Kashmir. Well, the army chief visited terror-struck Jammu. This is his second visit to Jammu since he took over as the army chief a couple of weeks back. Now, this crucial security review meeting happened also in the presence of top central agency officials as well. There has been a spate of terror attacks as far as Jammu is concerned, and Jammu clearly has now become the epicenter of militancy and not the valley. Additional troops, of course, have been rushed into Jammu as well to make sure that the existing counter force is strengthened and that the security forces are able to carry out their operations smoothly. And now a progressive order from the Bombay High Court on the right to education. The High Court says that there is no exemption from the EWS quota as far as private schools are concerned. The distance from government schools does not matter, is what the High Court said, going on to say that if private schools are within 1 kilometer of the government school, then they should not be exempt from EWS admission. 25% of classes in private unaided schools has to be from EWS, that is the economically weaker section of society. If required, the High Court says the private schools can increase the number of seats. The Right to Education Act, as per the High Court, casts a duty on every unaided school. And with that, we'll slip into a short break now, but lots more coming up on the other side. Welcome back. Our big exclusive now. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Dr. Mohan Yadav has told NDTV that a positive investment environment has been created in Madhya Pradesh and this will bring positive results. Take a look at this interview.
जबलपुर की जो इन्वेस्टर मीट हो रही है और इसकी सफलता मिली है, इसके लिए आपका संदेश चाहता हूँ।
देखिए, ये मध्य प्रदेश सरकार की प्रतिबद्धता है कि वो अपने औद्योगिक निवेश को बढ़ाना चाहती है और हम सब चाहते हैं कि प्रदेश को अगर आगे बढ़ाना है तो आर्थिक रूप से सक्षम बनाने की ज़रूरत है। और मुझे इस बात की प्रसन्नता है कि हमारी क्षेत्रीय समिट जो उज्जैन के बाद दूसरी जबलपुर में हुई है। आज बड़े पैमाने पर निवेशक आए हैं और अपना रुझान भी दिखा रहे हैं। सरकार के माध्यम से हम भी उनको सारी बातों से कन्विंस कर रहे हैं कि उनकी कोई कठिनाई आएगी दूर करेंगे, और मुझे इस बात का संतोष है कि वो संतुष्ट भी दिखाई दे रहे हैं और माहौल ऐसा बना है कि सकारात्मक माहौल है जिसका लाभ सब उठाएंगे।
सर, डिफेंस के क्षेत्र में आपने एक नई उपलब्धि दी है कि अशोक लेलैंड के साथ जबलपुर व्हीकल फैक्ट्री का एक MOU हुआ है।
जबलपुर को तो बहुत सारी सौगातें मिली है। आज ही एक हमारा स्किल डेवलपमेंट का सेंटर की घोषणा हुई है। इंडस्ट्रियल बेल्ट के अंदर बहुत सारे विकास के लिए बहुत अलग अलग प्रकार के लोग को जोड़ा है, और इस प्रकार से जैसे यहाँ हमारे लिए बड़ी डिफेंस की एक बहुत पुरानी पहचान है जबलपुर से, ऐसे में स्वाभाविक रूप से अशोक लेलैंड के साथ उनका एक बड़ा MOU हुआ है और अलग अलग और प्रकार से भी उसको प्रमोट कर रहे हैं।
सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। तो मुख्यमंत्री जी ने अभी जो घोषणाएं की थी उनको मूर्त रूप में लाने के लिए अब इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ 1-to-1 इंटरेक्शन चल रहा है और यही मध्य प्रदेश को आगे लेकर जाएगा।
And moving now to news from Uttarakhand, where a heavy rain alert has been issued across districts as far as the hill state is concerned. Uttarakhand braces for heavy rain. There's a red alert for 3 districts. This is as an orange alert or a very heavy rain alert for multiple parts of the state as well. Last year, we remember there was heavy waterlogging followed by flooding and landslides as well. And news now from Bangladesh, well, as the quota protests continue to wreak havoc in Bangladesh, the Indian External Affairs Ministry has notified that nearly 1,000 Indian students have been evacuated from the country. In its latest update, the Ministry of External Affairs mentioned that the Indian High Commission in Dhaka is working very closely as far as evacuating the Indian students is concerned. Take a look.
As violence and unrest spreads across Bangladesh, Indian officials have managed to evacuate nearly 1,000 students from Dhaka.
अभी का सिचुएशन तो ठीक नहीं है, तभी हम यहाँ पे आ गए और बाकी स्टूडेंट भी हमारे साथ बहुत सारे, जिनको हम और भी बहुत सारे आ गए। तो बाकी कॉलेज में भी कंडीशन अच्छी नहीं थी और ऊपर से बहुत सारे रेस्ट्रिक्शन लग गए। हम लोगों को पता चला कि वहाँ पे कोटा मूवमेंट हो रहा है, बहुत सारा गैदरिंग हो रही है स्टूडेंट्स की, तो हम लोगों को कॉलेज से भी ऑफ मिल गया। कॉलेज वालों ने भी मना किया कि आप कॉलेज आने की जरूरत नहीं है।
Meanwhile, as protests continue in Bangladesh, the government announced the imposition of a curfew and the deployment of military forces as 105 people have been killed in the protest this week. Police in the capital Dhaka earlier banned all the public gatherings for the day, a first since protests began, in an effort to forestall more violence. But what has triggered the crisis in Bangladesh? Students in Bangladesh are protesting against quotas in government jobs and rising unemployment in the country. Nearly 32 million young people are out of the work or uneducated out of a population of 170 million. The students have called for striking down of a 30% reservation quota for the families of freedom fighters. The recent protest started after a High Court order reinstated a 30% job quota for families of war veterans. The protesters feel this policy favors supporters of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's party. The protests have intensified after Sheikh Hasina described the protesters as Razakars, a derogatory term used for a member of the East Pakistani Volunteer Force that worked against Bangladesh's creation during the 1971 war.
মুক্তিযোদ্ধাদের নাতিপুতিরাও পাবে না, তাহলে কি রাজাকারের নাতিপুতিরা পাবে? সেটা আমার প্রশ্ন, দেশবাসীর কাছে প্রশ্ন। আর যদি না মানে কিছু করার নাই, আর রাজপথে আন্দোলন করতেই থাকবে, তবে কোনো ধ্বংসাত্মক কাজ করতে পারবে না। যতক্ষণ তারা শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে করে যাচ্ছে কেউ কিছু বলছে না, কিন্তু এর বাইরে যখন কিছু করবে, পুলিশের গায়ে হাত দেওয়া বা পুলিশের গাড়ি ভাঙা বা এভাবে আক্রমণ এগুলি যদি করতে যায়, তাহলে তখন তো আইন তার আপন গতিতে চলবে, এখানে আমাদের কোনো কিছু করার নেই।
Meanwhile, experts believe India should watch the developments in its neighboring country cautiously.
The situation has escalated. The protests have gone beyond the student remit. There are reports of the Jamaat Shibir, which is the student wing of the Jamaat-e-Islami, which was a pro-Pakistan, faction, radical faction, have also sort of joined.
The anti-quota stir in Dhaka is slowly turning into an anti-Sheikh Hasina movement, and the way the government is trying to quell this protest with iron hand, this has all the potential to keep the region on boil for quite some time. With camera person Stephen in Delhi, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.